A court has struck down a measure to expand euthanasia laws in the Netherlands. Activists wanted to make it legal for non-medical professionals to perform assisted suicide procedures. The Netherlands was the first country in the world to legalize the practice back in 2002. Since then, others have followed suit, to include Spain, Canada, and parts of the United States. The Catholic Church strongly opposes euthanasia. And joining us tonight is Wesley Smith, author and chairman of the Discovery Institute's Center on Human Exceptionalism. Wesley, great to have you here today. A lot to get to, but first, your reaction to the Dutch court's decision. Do you think the country's euthanasia activists will just let this go?
Oh, absolutely not, because the ultimate goal of euthanasia movement is death on demand. In fact, you can see that in the country of Germany. The highest court in Germany has created a constitutional right not only to suicide itself, but to assisted suicide and to assist in suicides by anyone and for any reason.
Wesley, do you see this ruling setting the tone for other nations and their euthanasia policies?
Well, what you see is once euthanasia is legalized, it continues to expand, and the same is true about assisted suicide. Canada has gone from a reasonable, foreseeable time of death in order to qualify for a lethal injection until next year. They're going to be allowing people with mental illnesses to be euthanized. Here in the United States, just as an example, Vermont permits assisted suicide by Zoom. So the idea that strict guidelines protect against abuse is ridiculous.
Yeah, all these things seem really so unbelievable, but they are happening. I want to go back to Canada. There are reports there that the country offered assisted suicide to a Paralympian veteran who simply just wanted a chairlift installed. And then there's another report of a disabled man who was requesting euthanasia, and that was due to poverty. Talk to us more about these just horrific reports. What more do you know about them?
Oh, those are true, and other ones too. For example, there was a woman in a nursing home who was very upset because of the COVID isolations, and when a second isolation was put forth, she asked for euthanasia. And the authorities let her family be with her to be killed, but would not have let them be with her to live. So you can see what happens when you turn killing into a medical treatment. It just gets out of control, and the idea that suffering is the worst thing in the world and death is the answer begins to take over.
What do you think these practices in Canada, what do you think that could signal for us in the United States?
Well, I think it's really important to see what's happening in Canada because they are our closest cultural cousins. For example, Canada allows organ harvesting in conjunction with euthanasia. And in fact, in the province of Ontario, if somebody asks for euthanasia, the Organ Donation Society will contact them and ask for their organs, but no suicide prevention association will contact that patient. So you can see where the agendas are.
We have about a minute left or so, and there's so much more I can talk about, but I really want to ask you this one question. I want to squeeze this in. I want to talk about what this may mean for our Catholic doctors. I mean, could they possibly be forced to perform euthanasia in countries where it's legal?
It's already going in that direction in Canada, as a matter of fact. There was a court ruling in Canada where after doctors sued their Catholic doctors and others not to have to engage in euthanasia, and the court ruled, well, if you don't want to engage in euthanasia or don't want to find another doctor who will do it on behalf of a legally qualified patient, then get out of medicine. So yes, there's a very real likelihood that Catholic doctors and others could be forced into participation and complicity.